All right, so just talk about the game here real quick. Obviously the start we had today was not what we wanted. We offensively went punt, and interception, and then we went touchdown, field goal, touchdown on defense. So the glaring things that stood out to me, and what my message was at halftime for the players was we had a lot of penalties that set us back, our drives back on offense, and the operation wasn't as clean as it needed to be. And then on defense, it was really simply about fundamentals. It was about basics. It was about cupping the ball. It was about having forced pursuit apex, about our tackling, right, and our angles. And we need to do a better job of that. And that's where they got their big plays, and that's where they got their scoring opportunities. So that was my message there. I thought the guys came out in the second half, did a solid job of that. But at that point, we were down. And, defensively, that first drive coming out of the second half, we needed to get that stop right away. To give ourselves a chance to get a scoring opportunity there, and they ended up getting a few first downs, and we didn't get off to the third down. So that was that. Again, we didn't play complementary football as we have, last week and the last couple weeks where we played complementary football together. And, our last two victories with the takeaways and being on the positive side of that, we were -1 today. So that also attributed to that. Situationally, early was not what we wanted it to be, third downs, offense and defense. So that's, again, was on their favor. And, again, I give the Chargers, the credit. They had a nice game plan today, did a nice job today. With that, I'll open up to questions.
You hit the deep ball on the first play. What did you like about him airing it out, especially after the game plan last week? Then how frustrating was it to go negative, sack?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? You get a big explosive play, and we don't take advantage of that, take that opportunity, and create a scoring opportunity, at least a field goal. So we got behind the sticks there, and again, that's kind of the operation we had a little bit in the first half.
The avoidable. Go ahead.
Was there any explanation on that for why they, after they blew it down, it never seemed like when he was touched?
Yeah.
They ever come to you and say, hey, we missed it or whatever?
Yeah, they didn't say that. I would just tell Mooney that he's got to get up and be convincing. When he gets up, go. And that's what I told Mooney afterward. He just needs to get up and go house the thing, and then let them make the decision. Don't have any decision there. Made a heck of a catch for sure, and a really good play. But again, I don't know what the outcome of that in terms of what they said.
When you mentioned the avoidable errors like penalties and poor technique, missed tackles, things like that is the number one thing that you have talked about probably for the last 2 years. Even if the results on the field haven't been good, you've talked about that being important. Why do you think that happened? Why was that such a collective problem?
Yeah, I would say that it's been good. The last 3 weeks, our tackling has been really good. They've been in the fives, which is elite. Last week, I think we had 8 or 9, which is okay. But again, today wasn't what it wanted to be. We've been working our tail off on it in practice. Been working on our angles. Been working on that exact thing, and it's been paying off for us. And today, it did not. We got to go back and look at the tape. And we got to get better at that fundamental skill. I thought we did a better job in the second half, cupping the ball and keeping explosives down. But again, when you're playing a team like that, you got to do a really good job with their skill. And they have some good skill on their team.
Why do you think that was an issue? Was it a lack of focus defensively?
No, it always comes down to fundamentals to me. It's fundamentals. It's about being in there and having the right mindset and understanding how to attack the football. And again, once I got them in the locker room there. They were good in the second half.
How frustrating is it as a defensive play caller? You guys have been seeing it turn the corner, been dialing up some nice plays, creating some turnovers. Did that again today, but because of the missed tackles, or even on the play where you dropped your DN right into the passing lane, hit him in his hand. That's a great call. How frustrating is that when you put guys in position and you still don't get them to go? Yeah, I mean, you gotta work the player, right? You gotta work him in that situation. How many times did we, do that? Did we drop him back there and firing the ball right at him? Maybe a couple. Well, we got to do it more. He's got to be able to see that, and hands got to come up together. I got to look at the catch. It certainly was a good opportunity for us to be able to take that ball away right there. And but again, we got to get better.
Matt, going off that, what did you think of your pass rush tonight?
It was solid when we had some pressure. In terms of called pressure. I know that TJ had a really nice hit on that one in the second half. I thought that was good. I'm always going to say it needs to be more. It needs to be more. But again, we just got to keep going on that.
How do you think Tyson played today? Again, it feels like after last week, I think everybody's expectations were high. But this is also a guy who hasn't done this before.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. I thought that, we're passing the ball when we ran out of possessions. At the very end, we were going for it on all the fourth downs, which we had to because we only had so many possessions left. And he was in a 2-minute mode. And I thought he operated well there. I thought, because they have some good rushers, and they have some way to pressure with their front four. And I thought he did a good job checking it down to the back at times and working it to Cole. I think Cole was 10 for 10 today. But, so I thought he did a nice job there. And then the interception, that he threw to Mooney, I thought that was a good strike right there. And then the other one on the side pocket there that they overturned, I think we just got to come back to the ball there a little bit better. But, again, it's what I saw on the field.
Coach, I know you may have considered this before, but why the decision not to have Jalen Johnson shout the other team's best receiver? It seems like having the rookie on the other side, they've targeted him a couple times this season with their best player. Why not have Jalen?
Yeah, Jalen can certainly do that, but we were giving help whoever was there. We were trying to. A lot of times what they do is they put Keenan on the move a lot, and they do a good job of it, and they have to, right, because that's their player. And, we try to get on as much as we can with 2 guys, but sometimes you can't do it.
But how does DJ Moore only get one target in the second half of this football game?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at it, where the ball was, what they were doing to him. I got to look at the coverages. They could have been over top of him with a guy underneath him, which you get off the guy right away. So I didn't know how many times that happened. I knew it happened some. I saw it a few times, but I don't know how many times.
Thanks, guys.
All right.